Season's greetings. That's right. It's another late night, which means it's time for another reach into the Just Giggle It grab bag. And much like the bag from the Tim Allen Santa Claus movies, just when you think the bag's empty, a little more pops in there. And lo and behold, tonight we're pulling out. Oh my! Look at the adorable wrapping. The 12 days of lockdown. How precious from our friends, of course, at JGI.
Yeah, Dragon, we've just been hanging out here in the grab bag for a couple months. It's very comfortable in here, as we've already established. We've just been sitting in here, sipping our hot cocoa, watching The Night Before Christmas over and over again. Very comfortable movie, very comfortable environment.
Yep.
All right, so yeah, feels good to be back at the grab bag. Of course, JGI, they have uploaded not one but two holiday treats for us. So this is the first one we'll be covering, and it's pretty much a Katie Mary Garland solo project with a little guest appearance that, of course, we'll get into. But Dragon, I will say, this could have just very easily just been a song, with just like, all right, we're gonna do like the 12 Days of Christmas, but we're gonna just kind of like parody it for lockdown. But Dragon, they went the extra mile with it, and I appreciate that, because not only do we have Katie just getting more frantic and kind of like, just kind of all off kilter as the thing goes on, which is great, but of course we have that ending with, with the big man himself that really sticks this to landing. So I got to tell you, man, I wasn't expecting too much from this, just given the nature of like, oh, look, it's just like a nice little holiday song from Just Giggle. It isn't that nice. But I got to tell you, man, they really stuck to landing in terms of delivering the actual comedy of it. So I'm pretty impressed for what this is.
Yeah, I kind of view this one as JGI's little Christmas card for the lump, for this lump of coal in our stocking that this year has turned out to be. It's like, yeah. This is definitely refreshing, kind of reflective of kind of like what kind of year it's been. Kind of encapsulates the whole experience in like a nice little seasonal package there, and very much kind of in the style of Just Giggle at Home via Katie Mary Garland doing her little quarantine ukulele ditties. So of course, speaking of which, she wrote and edited this, assumedly directed it as well, but again, it's kind of an editing feast for the eyes. So they only have several directors with all the footage, but yeah.
Right.
Anyway, yes. So of course, good old KMG. We have kind of a 1-2 punch coming up here. One with KMG and the big man himself. So honestly, these two are kind of linked, and this one actually sets up the next one we'll be covering this fine winter month.
Yeah, I haven't watched that one yet, Dragon, but I know it stars the co-stars a certain someone who very much has been out of the loop of JGI for a long time, but maybe making a little bit of a comeback between this and the JGI at Home stuff, perhaps.
Well, it'd be great. I know that much, because I can't wait to get to her, but we have to wait. Gotta wait till Christmas, folks.
All right.
Like all the great gifts, you wait till Christmas. All right. So, all that said, let's break it down, and folks, just for the sake of not hypnotizing everyone with the dullness of our dulcet tones, what we're gonna do is we're not gonna necessarily go through every lyric, but kind of the new stuff within the lyrics of the song. Okay, we're not just gonna like go through 12 items like continuously as we progress, but just the new stuff and the variations. All right. Okay. So let's get started. Let's break it down. This fine holiday eve. So, well, eve-ish. We're getting there. All right. So we have
all I can say, man, is Christmas. Soul and Wonder Woman. That's a Christmas present if I've ever seen one.
That is true. That's the way to celebrate the holidays, right there.
Absolutely. That is JGI. It's great, but that is like the real like. All right. We're going to give it feels like just a public gift from the two companies. Just like, here, just have it. Merry Christmas. We've all been through shit. We need something nice. Anyways.
Yeah, because I don't know about you, but I definitely asked old Santy for a little something under the little Pixar movie under the tree, as well as I want to see Wonder Woman fight in that mall. That's all I want
Of
for
course.
Christmas.
All right, so Dragon, on the first day of Christmas, the lockdown gave to me a big horde of. I'm sorry, I'm not sure if I'm going to. A whole bunch of hoarded TP. Sorry.
Right. So of course our kind of our big sell line, the 12 days of Christmas meets kind of lockdown. So yeah, also I like the sing-along lyrics. By the way, the seasonal sing-along lyrics are quite nice. And again, Katie Mary Garland showing off her editing prowess quite nicely
This
here.
is very well edited, and there's a lot of interesting shots here in terms of just the different things you can get to show off the different days.
I
It's
mean, you gotta
nice.
imagine how difficult that is. Like, she really kind of carried the boulder up the mountain on this one because I mean,
Sure, sure.
she's gotta use different. She's gotta basically, presumably, she's asked people to film things, but basically she has to splice up what they sent her and just kind of like also whatever she could find, some other stuff to make it thematically accurate and reflective of JGI, and just kind of like reconfigure it, essentially 12 different verses, which is insane. So I mean, I commend her for. I think the end results speak for themselves. So yes, first day of lockdown, first day of Christmas, lockdown gave to me a whole bunch of hoarded TP. And we see Katie Garland with holding a basic little toilet paper holder full of a whole bunch of looking all shifty as she closes the door. This is
And then on
mine.
the second day of Christmas, the lockdown gave to me 2 Taylor drops.
Some hoarded TP, which we then see Piper Henson now with.
Yes.
I like the progression on the Piper Henson. There's like an arc with the Piper Henson toilet paper cutaway now, because basically she's stacking the toilet paper into like a little pyramid, and then she's gonna like have like a whole emotional arc with this pyramid.
Oh God.
That brings us to the third day, which is three face shields, and we have Piper basically all decked out like the gloves and everything, putting down the face shields. Get a whole bunch of face shields throughout this.
Then people just cry into the 2 Taylor drops.
Yep. Then now we have God, we have the Scrubs toilet paper clip where basically we see like
Right.
I guess there was an episode of Scrubs way before all this pandemic and chaos where Zach Braff's lady friend in that show, she's basically has like a whole decked out kind of toilet paper room, and it's like a little toilet paper drink. It's crazy.
Oh God.
All right, so the fourth day.
Yes, the fourth day of Christmas. 4 Zoom calls, and of course that's one thing that this year gave to us that we can all remember.
Apparently, we see like a Zoom meeting of Katie and her and some of her friends having like a wine, like they're having a little conversation with wine. All of them, little wine meet and greet, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
There's the three face shields, 2 Taylor drops, and then Piper Henson like hugging. She's hugging the pyramid now. So we've established she loves the pyramid. She loves like the hoarded TP, which is she's gonna go through an arc, folks. Keep track. But okay, then we get to the fifth day. Fifth day is pretty funny. Fifth day is 5 extra pounds,
5 extra pounds.
which is really great with Katie Garland here with she's eating the ice cream, doing a lot of great kind of ice cream comedy here, like with the spoon and everything. It's kind of funny. All right, let's see. And then we're using for 4 Zoom calls. Again, this is where Katie's going to reach into her back pocket here, but in a good way. We're using what we have, and we're kind of evoking with all of this with our little guest spots, and we're like, oh, familiar faces here and there. Using a clip from JGI at Home, episode 4, using the opening for the whole Zoom meetings at the opening of the JGI meetings.
Uh-huh.
So 4 Zoom calls with 4 boxes, and it's from episode 4, by the way. It's all so many 4s. It's like Alexander 4 in here. All right, so let's see. Katie with this whole box of hoarded TP, as she's like, it's like reminds me of Sun in Lockdown with all the toilet paper jokes at the end of that one. All right, then we have the 6th day. What goes on?
6 shows a binging.
We have the whole Katie's breakup clip from JGI at Home. 5 extra pounds, which means she's trying to zip up some pants that just won't fit. 4 Zoom calls, Taylor drops. We have like her on the balcony, like lighting the lighters if she's at a concert.
Oh God, that I can relate to, Dragon.
Yep. Let's see.
Piper Henson with the TP. It's like she's almost like practically like giving them personas at this point. She's like,
she's doing
I'll
like
name you and you.
doing like the little boop. thing. I guess what do the kids call it now? It's apparently, according to Earth to Net, it's bloop.
Oh God.
Yeah, just kind of fun, little protective hold too, like, oh, I love you, when she's holding on. All right, so again, Katie here, we got a lot of footage, again, presumably a whole bunch of stuff shot from Piper that she's distributed all throughout the piece. That brings us to day 7.
7 joints of smoking. Hell yeah.
Yeah, Kevin Smith definitely loves this part.
Now, that's the one that I'm surprised they didn't get Josh to do, honestly.
Well, again, if they put him in there, we don't have the end gag, so.
Well, I guess so. That's the point, yeah, so.
And we have, like, Katie coughing, and we're going to use this a couple times where she's, like, hacking up. Like, she's like, she's over, like, she's smoking like a chimney on this one.
Little in over her head on that.
Yep. She's going to go in the full Rogan, if you will.
Oh, God.
All right. We'll foreshadow for the kids. All right. So then we have we're using a lot of "Did You Clean" clips with her binging and everything. Her in the bed there, and then we have Piper Henson. This is really funny with the whole 5 pounds on this one. We have Piper Henson with a big old bottle of wine and a little tiny piece of chocolate. For the 5 pounds, we use the game stream, which I was on that game stream, man. In the comments, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, again, I love how this whole thing evokes like the vibe you get with all these kind of these little pulls here. It's very evocative of a snapshot of the year, with kind of a Christmas vibe to it, a little Christmas card vibe, quite nice. Like,
sure.
Hey, you remember what you did? It's like writing the annoying Christmas letter to the family back when we used to do these things. All right.
And also, I just want to point out that Katie is getting like sort of more and more frantic and unhinged as it goes on. Speaking she does a good job changing up her performance each round.
Yes. And on the flip side, too, I like Piper Henson coming a little bit of PSA there with the old hand sanitizer and the mask during kind of some of these interludes as we get to the 8th day. And then we have, what is the 8th day?
On the 8th day of Christmas, the lockdown gave to me 8 closet chuggins.
Yes, it's like this White Claw seltzer drink.
Claws, 8 claws a chugging, right? Yeah. Is that it?
Yeah, it's not Claude. Claude's our guy, but he's not. He's not the beverage.
No. Help me out here, because is it closet chuggins?
Claws a chuggin? It's like White Claw. It's what the drink's
White
called.
Claws. Okay. I'm sorry, because I was kind of thinking, this is one I'm not too familiar with. Dragon. Is this like the cocktail in a can that the kids are doing these days?
It's like all the fancy. This is gonna sound so local. It's like it's like the fancy California drinks, like all the bottled, like all the bottled coconut water and everything, or like the cans of coconut water, which Josh is crazy about, that sort of thing. They put it all in a little fancy can.
I think the coconut water and fancy drink thing, I think that's more of a SoCal thing, Dragon. I gotta
admit. That's what I'm saying. It's like all LA
thing.
Well, still, it's all.
Go ahead.
But yeah, it's all that. It's like all the fancy canned drinks now. Anyway.
All right, the 9th day of Christmas, the lockdown gave to me 9 Karens yelling.
Which pretty much sums up the year over the mask and everything. Like 9 Karens yelling.
Yeah, Karens kind of took over the world in 2020 in some ways.
Only Karen I care about is
oh God,
is going to be a Stormfront. That's the only Karen I care about. Bear in mind, I'm terrified of that Karen, but still. All right, so let's see. Then we have like a bunch of I believe we might have Katie in a pool with a bunch of floating little kind of pool jockeys holding White Claw holding White Claw seltzer drinks. By the way, every time I see seltzer now, I'm thinking of that scene in American Pickle.
Oh God,
because again, seriously, silly as the movie was, again that scene, man, that had genuine pathos. That seltzer scene.
It did.
Love it. Okay. Piper Henson's binging The Crown, which is really funny. We're using the Zoom restaurant shot. Then we move on to the 10th day.
The 10th day of 10 celebrities fleeing or something like
and
that.
And actors fleeing, which we see a little like those headline video, those like eye-catching, like, oh, click on me videos with Tom Hanks is getting ready to flee the country, it looks like. So then we have 9 Karens yelling. We have again, did you clean Katie binging? Let's see, we have Piper snacking very sloppily as she was snacking before, but now it's got, so here's the progression with some of these. And it's just like, oh, then she's shoving it in there. It ain't pretty.
Uh-huh.
Then we have another stranger. We have a redheaded stranger with the toilet paper now. It's like, again, brilliant. I guess Katie's just kind of found some people to kind of work in there to kind of shake up the toilet paper.
My guess is that she probably just like messaged a lot of her friends, like, "Hey guys, could you give me like some comedy moments with toilet paper?"
But because of the whole closet chugging thing, we kind of missed who she was doing the closet chugging with. Her roommate, Miranda DeMeo from the Hamilton video.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, Miranda DeMeo. Okay. Brings us to the penultimate one.
Yes. What is it, Dragon?
11, Piper's posting, which I think is one of the best ones, by the way. By the way, Piper, fancy new haircut. Did you notice?
Yeah. I'm surprised it took us this long to bring it up. Yeah.
Well, no, I think her hair kind of fluctuates in this a little bit. If you look,
it does.
It's kind of longer and short, but apparently it's black now. She went from red to look at it's almost like the evolution of beard. We should do the evolution of Piper's hair. We should go from we start. We go from the blonde, from the Addison days to the redhead to the early days in the backpedal.
Yeah, you're right. It has been through kind of a journey.
Yep, the journey of Piper Ensign's hair. Anyway, so there's 11 Pipers posting, 10 actors fleeing, which we then incorporate "This Is the End" clips, which I think we did a little bit. I forget if we started here. We might have done a little bit with like the whole joints of smoking, I believe, but. The actors fleeing now are using like "This Is the End," where they're all running away when the world's ending at the big celebrity,
right.
Which is a great idea, and we know Katie loves that movie, so this is, again, a genius pull.
Doesn't love that movie.
It's good. All right, so then we have Jenny Tran. Now things get screwed up here. So it's like 8 Shaw's chugging.
Because I'm drunk.
Then we fix it once we see Corey. Good old Corey Long doing that awesome spit take.
Corey Olnick coming in for the save, man.
Yep, Corey Olnick. Love him. So, anyways, then we have a little bit more of "This Is the End," and kind of stuff like that. Then we get to the important one, which is day number 12.
Oh, this is such a great payoff, Dragon.
What is day number 12?
12 Josh's hazing.
Which then I love this because already it could have gone home really simple, like, okay, but then we push beyond. We push beyond and we interrupted. We break the fourth wall. So currently, folks, Joshua Thomas, when he's doing when in the midst of these 2 Christmas videos, he is in he's going back to the home front. He's going back to San Antonio, Texas. So he's on location during these, folks. It's on location in these crazy days.
So, oh god, it just cracks me up. Dragon, this first interaction they have, it's so on brand. It's so on brand.
This just sums up their dynamic, the whole Garfield normal dynamic. We keep going on about like the whole again. They they're friends, but still, it's like just Josh. This is their dynamic, it just perfectly sold in one moment. Where Katie, it's so indicative of the Back to the Future gag. The whole I like Back to the Future. Up, Says. Is that Josh? Is that a friend shirt? Is he wearing like old Central Perk shirt? And then we just have this pause.
It's one of the most popular TV shows ever made. You don't own the fandom to it.
Though sometimes you make me question how good it really was. Because if she likes it, there must be something wrong with it. God. So then she's asking Josh to film a little part for her sketch, which again, very meta. Like we're filming the part within the sketch, which is awesome.
Right.
So we have this great. You know me, Tiki. I love the Christmas ceasefire. I love the Christmas truce. I love this. I always love that idea. It's one of my favorite things when we broach Christmas. You know, the idea of Christmas is just a time, whatever you believe in. Christmas is a time just to take it easy on your fellow man. And Joshy boy here. Kind of takes a breath and he says, it's this great armistice of Josh. Look, Katie, I love how mellow he is to like, Katie, I'm not going to say anything mean because it's the holidays, but I am going to say no. But Merry Christmas. Good luck making your own. I'm making my own Christmas stuff, which, again, little foreshadow for the next one. But regardless, Merry Christmas, Katie, which, oh my, doesn't that warm your heart, though?
Sure.
wishes her luck, wishes her Merry Christmas. And no, back, oh, isn't that, she's all touched by it. Merry Christmas to you too. Back to the music. 5 extra pounds. We're using the "Oh my God, I think I'm pregnant" clip of them having of Piper and Katie having binge eat the biscuits from that one place.
And then, hey, what do you know? Joss gets the last TP bit.
Yep.
So we sent in the clip after all, Dragon. Isn't that nice?
That he did. And whole bunch of hoarded TP with Yoshi Boy stuck in the cupboard with nothing but Charmin, and then Katie gives a little one, like, I got through to him.
Right. And that's all she wrote, folks.
Yep, final thoughts.
Short and sweet, Dragon. I think that if this was just the song without the Josh stuff, it would have been a nice a nice well-edited Christmas card, if you will. But I really do think that the Josh stuff kind of like peaks it into proper sketch territory, and that was a really nice surprise. I wasn't expecting it to go that far in the comedy direction. So overall, I really liked it. Great editing on Katie's part. She's just getting better and better at that craft.
Yes, and kind of piggyback off that, my final thoughts. Again, it's just like during this crazy pandemic, KMG, she's honing her editing craft, and the results are quite nice. She's developing her own style. Again, kind of all of the JGI at home clips, and you kind of now whether that's like an intentional, she wanted to do that to evoke kind of the Christmas card vibe, or it's like, well, I need a lot of footage, and I got to go all over the place to find it. Both are valid. Just saying. I don't know which one it is, but it worked for her, so yay her. And again, it just kind of adds a nice layer of seeing the folks at JGI, kind of saying happy holidays in a sense within kind of like this little reflection of how crazy a year it's been. I like how we have like a little bit of HBO Max audition footage with Katie and Josh in there within that, which also was a big punchline of that sketch. I like that we're kind of like there's a vibe of building to Katie and Josh having their moment, which is quite nice. And again, it's it's like their exchange again. It's like seeing the two of them just kind of doing what they classically do. We've kind of talked about them doing for all this time. Their dynamic and play, and just such a perfect little moment like that, just summed up in one gag. It's like the whole sketch. It feels like an old friend, doesn't it? It just feels like an old friend seeing them. Like, oh, that's what we know and love right there. That's
totally.
That's JGI for you there. And a nice little holiday bow. It's Scotch Guard, but it's still a bow.
Right. Okay, take them out.
All right, folks. Well, that does it. Does it for this reach until the next exciting reach into the seasonal Just Giggle Grab Bag.
Is that a friend shirt?